Hi there. Welcome to the first ever Jablanski Excavation live on YouTube. I am the director of the program. I handle all the social media and I videotape the crew doing their daily tasks. Welcome. This is a first for us. We have been doing lives on TikTok every morning at 7:30. We've been doing them since we started, since we've been able to, so back in May. This is our first YouTube live. Hi there, Elia. How are you? Nice to see you. Welcome in. I can't believe this is our first one that we've ever done. Well, you know, YouTube is a little strange in that you have to apply and then they let you in. But let me give you an update about what's been going on because you guys don't get the benefit of having the live. But this is Eddie. Eddie is our excavator driver. He's a young guy just out of college. He's got an IT degree, loves gaming and computers. And to start, you know, excavation might be his thing. And, you know, when Fruit started this little company here, he got involved with it, you know. And it's kind of strange. You might not know how this started because, again, this is our first live here. There's a lot of backstory that goes on with this crew. Daisy is our dump truck operator. She's driving the new truck. Oh boy, what happened? We got some crap in the wheels. Oh, you may have blown a track, maybe, no? Let's see. There we go. But Daisy is our dump truck operator. She is she's about 27 years old. She's a theater dance major. She just does this to fill the time between auditions. So we all have that type of job in our life. But we also have Uncle Paulie. Uncle Paulie is he's our dozer operator. Uh, he's 70 years old and retired, but decided to come back to work part-time to push some dirt. And that's what he does. So it's an interesting little story about what we have going on. You know, give us a follow if you're not, or subscribe. And you know, let's get Daisy. She's got to go bring it down. We're working. This is the this is the apple tree herb garden. And soon the apple tree herb garden will get a new load of dirt in here. That's why we're getting rid of it. This whole area used to be grass, as you could see further down the path. And then what happens is the crew is getting rid of this dirt so we can bring in some garden soil. And then next season, the garden will be an herb garden. You can see there's fruit hanging around in the background. He's had a long day. There's been a little bit that went on. We got some dirt pushed and we got it all rocking and rolling. There's Uncle Paulie hanging out. He's our dozer operator. Daisy is coming down. We call this slippery slope. And then it's going to go up North Widowmaker Ave. That's North Widowmaker. And then she backs in and she's going to bring this dirt down to this area over here as we create Natalie Way. This is Natalie Way, which is going to lead down to another part of the garden, which is the FDR Rose Garden. And there's a big long story for that. And we can easily get into that at some point. But we're just testing this out today. Again, we're on TikTok every morning at 7:30. So if you're on TikTok, definitely check us out. And we've never been on YouTube before. I am the director of the show. It's my job to capture the stories that go on in the day. So all those little stories you see on the YouTube channel, they were all pretty much edited and written a little bit by me, mainly interviews or things that happened into the crew. We are so thrilled with Daisy's ability to, you don't realize how thrilled we are to have Daisy move up and down the hill. The stories that have been produced over the last few months by everybody. Let's see, where are we going to put her? I'd like to throw her in the front, but let's put her back where she was, and that way she can get in there. We're just lining up dirt right now. That's all we kind of do. But we don't have a set time yet here on YouTube. We're going to work on it. We're going to see if we can get a set time. It's kind of hard because, you know, work and everything else that goes on in life. You spend your whole day behind the camera going live with this. You know, we might get more work done. That would be nice because we do have a lot to do before winter gets here. We're located in central Massachusetts, right a little bit north of Worcester, Mass. So our growing season is coming to an end. Our whole goal here as an excavation crew was to take care of weeds in the garden. And we have, I think we got some stuff there. We're picking up a little bit of daisy. But we have, over time, just picked up every task in the garden, from weeds to planting to, you name it, creating new gardens. Boy, that's a heavy bucket. We're running the Huina 1580 here. It's a electric excavator that does a really nice job. It's not hydraulic, but as you can see, it's biting into the dirt pretty well and grabbing up some decent scoops. It just, I'm sure that gets beyond its limit there, you know. And you can see that we have it pretty much stretched out all we can go. Let's see if we can get you a different perspective. Something a little bit closer. It's different than TikTok, I could say. YouTube is. I have more of a lens here, a little bit wider, and I can see more. But we've been on TikTok since May. That's where we started, and then we just sort of switched over to YouTube in August. Basically because people that I knew just couldn't see it because they weren't on TikTok. So we said, well, we got to bring some of this fruit joy to you on here in the YouTube world. And it's been pretty good. We don't have near the number of subscribers that we have. We have, we're up to about 1,500 subscribers or followers on TikTok, and we have about 60 here. So if you want to drop us a follow, that would be much appreciated. Give us a like if you can. That brings more people in. That puts us into their feed a little bit more. So it'll be nice to see some new faces, meet some new people. We have a really nice community that we've developed over on the TikTok side. So I'm sure this community will be just as nice. Thanks for being here. We're Fruit Jablanski Excavation. We got Eddie and Daisy working today. They're doing a little bit late work. They're usually done by now, but we said, hey, let's see if we can get some of this stuff here on YouTube. Hang out. They don't care. They're young. They're going out after this. It is Friday night, so there's no rush. They don't start partying now, the kids, until 10 o'clock earliest, right? That's at least I know. But Eddie is, he's getting tired. He's been working all day, too. You got to remember that. So he does, he does work all day, like you and me. Whatever he does, he does. And all of the wonderful things he does. Boy, did that sphere thing look pretty interesting with the Wizard of Oz? I don't know. It looked pretty interesting to me. We're going to see if we can get Eddie over a little bit more so we can get a little bit better reach into Daisy. What do you think? Should we try that? He has, his tracks are a little screwy. So some of them are working okay, some of them aren't. And you can see how dry, whoa. Let's push him up a little bit. How dry the dirt is, right? Oh, there we go. Level out a little bit. Okay. I think we can fit in more. We'll grab some dirt right behind Daisy so that she can back in a lot closer. And then we'll go from there. So how are we doing tonight? Did you have a good day at work? Is everybody out? Oh, it's 5 o'clock, so it's yabba dabba do time. We're driving home. We're doing something else, so we're getting ready to pull out. You probably just logged into our phone and said, hey, checked up on the news or whatever you like to look at, the sports or the whatever. And you're going, yabba dabba do. 5 o'clock. Right? If you have a question, throw it up. I'd be more than happy to answer it. Oh, look at the rocket picked up. That's pretty hefty there. Look at that. Dang. Okay, let me see if I can push it in. I'm going to lose it. I lost it. Right? I think Daisy's going to need to squeeze in herself. I'm not going to be able to fill her up from this angle. So Daisy, you're going to have to do some magic. She's like, no problem. Now Daisy herself has had, we've had issues with her over the last couple months. Her original dump truck that you see in all the videos, yeah, she's going to need to probably come over here, huh? Get really close. All the stuff you see in her videos, she's driving like a little mining truck, right? And that's a nice truck, but it's a little bit low. And but we made it do. You know, we used Uncle Paulie to grade the paths. We used Doug to grade the paths. We you know, we really kept them up. We didn't put her in situations where she couldn't get through. You know, many people say, hey, maybe it's the dinosaur that damaged the truck. You know, I don't know if you saw Jurassic Garden episode, but check that out. That's a cute little film. It's on our page. I don't have a way to highlight things yet, but just look for Jurassic Garden and you'll see it. It has a picture of a dinosaur, I believe, on the cover of the movie. That's weird. You know, they don't let you change the thumbnail on the computer app, and they say they let you change it on the phone, but I have yet to see that happen. I've tried to change it to, you know, put interesting photos in so that people will pick up the feed, so to say. But thanks for being here. We got Eddie and Daisy doing their thing. We're bringing this dirt down to Natalie Way, which is going to connect to the FDR Drive, which will then lead us to the FDR Rose Garden. Now, there is a little bit of historical fact there. The FDR Rose Garden, they're actually descendants of roses that were planted at the Rutland Heights Hospital site that once held all the FDR roses, and beautiful roses, because I used to walk through them in the 70s, late 70s when I worked there, and the place was kind of hustling. I mean, it was hustling back in the early days when the Rutland Heights Hospital was built, but the time I worked there, it was still hustling, and they still had a full-time gardener, and the rose garden was stunning. So, but the hospital has been closed for a long time. I think it closed in like the 90s. Okay, I think Daisy's full. What do you think? We can't get much more out of it. But it closed in the 90s, and they've since torn it down. And we are near it. We are pretty near to it. You know, it's located in a town called Rutland, Mass. And it's the geographical exact center of Massachusetts. They have it down to a tree. So that's pretty cool. Have that kind of landmark. I always thought it'd be a great horror movie, you know. Here comes Daisy. She's got a really big load. She's going to basically be probably riding the brake. She's going to pull up to the left like she always does. And then she'll back in, get herself positioned. You can't see that too well from where you're at. But I think what we're going to try to do is get this dirt. You kind of need it, I'm going to say on the inside maybe, because the drive, we want the grade to go straight down to the right from where you're looking at it. And then that's going to increase or decrease the grade because Daisy has a hard time going up steep grades. This is the whole reason why we have Natalie Way. Originally, you saw the videos on our website, on our video page of the Widowmaker Ave. Well, Widowmaker Ave is going to turn into Widowmaker Garden, and that's going to encompass the whole right side of where Daisy is. Okay, so let's. I'm going to pull forward. I want to put the dirt a little bit more to the left of the pile. So we're going to swing across, and right here. See that? That's perfect. Because then Uncle Paulie can push it down and get it on the, oh boy, look at that. That's something. I've never seen that happen. We are soft. Wow. Good job, Daisy. You know, the crew has been extremely proud of her because for the last few weeks, it's been nothing but difficult times for her. She gets stuck, and when she gets stuck, we have to call DNS Recovery, and DNS Recovery comes in and, helps her out, and she just doesn't want to help. She wants to, operate like she normally did with her mining truck. But you know what? And as we said to Daisy, you're doing it, girl. You're doing it. And she knows the path now to get up. It's not the straightest line, but it gets her there. If you know what I'm saying. Now, we probably should see about taking Uncle Paulie, and I think he's going to need a battery change on that. I think it's looking pretty good there. What do you think? Can Eddie reach a few buckets in? He probably could. Why don't we grab a few from this perspective for you? So, we'll get closer as well as we can. Let's get this truck. So I'm the director of the program. My background is in film and video. That's what I do for a job. I've been doing it for a long time. This is started off as a job for Fruit. Fruit needed a person to, I'm not sure if there's going to be, I think we can reach it. Fruit needed a person to, we got a little bit in. Let's drag some over here so that we can get her in. He needed somebody to record this for the homeowner so that the homeowner can, he wanted to see the progress, he wanted to see where his money was going. So he said, can you record it and then show me videos of the progress? People are busy. So that's where I came in. Fruit reached out to me, and he said, hey, can you handle this task of, making a highlight reel for us? So I did, and I took it a step further. I had Fruit narrate and different things go on, and obviously we have just generic shots that the homeowner sees too. But it was a way of communicating with him, the homeowner. And then all of a sudden, we tried on Dropbox. And Dropbox, if you're not familiar with it, in, it can be hard for some people. You know, I work with it with clients, and some clients, they find it very difficult to use. And I've been on it since day one, so I don't find it that hard. But he couldn't make it work, and he goes, well, what about TikTok? I know how to use that. So we put it on TikTok, and then the next thing you know, we have, 30 followers. And then, I'm like, who are these people? We're doing updates on the garden and what's going on. And then it just grew from there, and then, it became a fun thing then. Everybody started to get a little bit of notoriety. Daisy, Eddie. Daisy seems to be a fan favorite. Oh boy, this thing's acting up a little bit, folks. Daisy seems to be a fan favorite, and you know who else does? Eddie and Uncle Paulie too. Doug as well. Doug has a great story in there. If you haven't seen the videos on Doug, I recommend you take a look at those. They're pretty good. Doug is an old friend of Fruit's. They go back to elementary school. I think they used to play in the playground together. And but the story is pretty touching, and you learn a lot about Doug. We haven't seen him in a while. He's been on another job. Maybe he's doing his own spin-off videos, Doug the Bug. He saw what Fruit was doing and kind of liked it. Wow, we really got another rock in there? I think we do. We're going to be running out of light soon, I think, too. We may have to put on the excavator light, but that also makes us put on the sound, which can be kind of loud. Anybody there? You saying hello? Anybody say hello? Tap on the screen, or however we like things here. They always tell us, tell them to tap and share. Tap and share. Share the live. So I'll do the same thing. Share the live. Tap on the screen. Send us a like. Give us a heart. Give us a... I have a routine down. I'm totally different at 7:30 in the morning. I have a lot of fun with the peeps, though. We get a few hundred too. We get over the course of a live, it can go anywhere from about 8 to 20,000 viewers in the course of an hour. Not everybody stays for a long time, but we do get a lot of people that stay for the entire hour and a half that we go live, roughly. And then we get a lot, at times there'll be 400 or 500 people that cruise in and out, staying an average of a couple seconds. Like right now we got 5 people in there, and you guys have probably been around a little bit. Unless I'm just not familiar with this yet. I'm still learning YouTube, I'm learning how we operate here. This is my first live on YouTube, so I really don't have any expectations. But we maybe would continuously do it in the afternoon. Like I said, we do it in the mornings for TikTok, and maybe in the afternoon. Maybe we'll start the 5 o'clock thing, but it's going to get dark soon. But we might have the nighttime, maybe we'll do a nighttime version of it. That might be kind of fun. What do you think? Well, we lost 3 on that little discussion. But we just have fun. Folks, we bring imagination, we bring some funny banter to our lives, and the more you interact, the better it is. We don't have anything bad. It's all good content. Nothing negative, nothing that's going to make you yell or scream. You may laugh. I tell some bizarre stories. And some of them are, it depends on what kind of story it is, okay? If it's a fruit story, I can't say that it's true. But if it's a personal story that I say, this, like the Rutland Heights stuff, that's all personal stories, they are true. And like I said, some of them are a little bizarre. You learn things as you get older and do things, Okay, Daisy's full, huh? I don't think she can get much fuller. Let's go dump her. We're going to dump her. getting deep. Uncle Paulie's going to need to come in at some point, I think. Hopefully we can do it before it gets dark. Okay, Days, you ready? You there, sister? Yeah, she's ready. She started up. Okay, let's back her out. Oh, can we? See, this is some of the problems we have with Daisy's truck is that the front wheels are not, they don't have drive to them, only her back wheels. But it is 4 wheels on each side, or 2 wheels on each side, so I guess it is 4-wheel drive. Huh? Why don't we, let's see about, no, we'll keep you right here for now. We'll give you a different view when Uncle Paulie comes in. I'm not sure about his battery. I can't remember if I changed it or not. He's probably not going to give us much because he was dying when I brought him in. But I can easily grab one. But we might save that for tomorrow morning. People like Uncle Paulie. He does an interesting job, and they just like how he operates. He's got a good personality. He's funny at times. Here comes something. Let's see. I'm going to say that's like a life flight helicopter. We have a level 1 trauma center near us, and they're constantly shuttling people around by helicopter. They're heading west because they're heading towards the sun, kind of a northwest, I'm gonna say. Wow, Daisy just killed it there. I'm very proud of her. She has just really performed since this new path got rained the other day. She has performed really well. There is some weight. We did add some weight to her. We put some of those tire weights on her back tires. You could see them a little bit. There's a line of dirt there. And then from that line of dirt, we stuck on some tires, and then underneath her dump bed is also I'll show you the weights. Here's the tires. You can see the dirt, and then right above the dirt are 2 weights. And so we stuck those on, and then I'll lift up the dump bed here, might as well. Underneath you could see those strips of weights. There's 2 strips of weights there. And that was to weigh her down because she was very light. And she wouldn't move. She wouldn't be able to get anywhere. So let's get her back into it. She's like, I'm trying to get you closer, Ed. Let me get her back in. I'll zoom out. Okay. Let's see if that works. I don't want to waste too much of the daylight trying to park her just in the right spot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So we got Eddie here and Daisy. The YouTube, some of the TikTok people think that they're a couple. And I kind of keep telling them no. While they're like, I think they're like 2nd or 3rd cousins. I'll have to research the genealogy between the 2, but no, not that I can tell. I mean, not in the current, unless there's other ways of communicating with people, they really don't talk to one another. They rarely leave the cab. Eddie especially, he goes into the restroom. You saw the porta potty episode, right? Where we had one porta potty and then Eddie had to go in there and then Uncle Paulie had the 2-minute warning. And I'm not sure if you're an older person, but once you get the 2-minute warning, that's it. The clock is ticking. And if you don't get down to the moment, then you're going to be wondering what happened with that 2-minute warning. We're down to one. Who is my one person? Are you there? Send up a flare. Send up a comment. Say something. Who is it? Oh, now we got 5. Really quick. We had 1, now we got 5. But that one person, who was that? Who's my one? Say hello if you're coming in and you're new. Come on in. Say hello. We don't bite. Not on the neck anyway. We're not vampires. We just got Eddie doing his thing. And Daisy is patiently waiting to be filled up. We're working here in the apple tree garden, folks. To the left there is an apple tree. You can't see it in your frame, but it's sad, and we were trying to bring it back to life. It has not produced not one apple. I swear to you, not one apple. The homeowner is mystified, doesn't know what's happening. The gardener needs to get some professional help on this matter, if you ask me. So we're just clearing out this area because we're getting some garden soil put in. And we're using this dirt down in the FDR garden. We're going to bring some of this dirt down once we get the path. So Daisy will have quite the run because she has to go way down to the lower garden. We're in a tiered garden system. It's not level. And it has brought challenges all year, as you may have seen in our videos. Please subscribe to our channel and check out our videos. We have I think we have 100 right now, different videos for you to look at. But we go live every morning on TikTok, mainly, 7:30. Same bat channel, for Jablanski Excavation. This is our first live on TikTok, so thanks for being here. We've never gone live before. And we probably will make it a regular thing. We may add you to the 7:30 live stream. Maybe we can figure out how to pull that off. That would be a nice thing to do. Because we have a lot of fun on TikTok. It's a lot of people. We've been doing it for a long time, so we have quite the following of people, And we have a lot of regulars. It's their time of the morning. They may be having a cup of coffee. They're sitting around scrolling. They stop in for a few minutes, say hello, and then they boogie. And we have a bunch of friends. It's good. I like it. We hope to get the same amount here at some point. YouTube does get a lot of good views, though. I've done tests, I think currently the last video of a fruit wisdom, which was the other day, I believe YouTube has more views than TikTok. And I have, 1,500 followers on TikTok and 66 here on YouTube. So isn't that interesting? And I think the web is looking for some interesting content, and I think Jablanski Excavation gives you that outlet. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. From the cucumber funeral, which is, in my opinion, one of the best videos we've ever done, to Blade to Blade, which is kind of a western that goes on between Daisy and Uncle Paulie, to, of course, Jurassic Garden, our epic film that was produced in the garden, directed by Steven Spielberg, and it's pretty good. I think you guys would like it. Check it out. That has gotten a few views, not a ton, but a few. I thought it would at least get 1,000 views, but it might one day. Other videos have. Okay, I think Daisy is stuffed. What do you think? I don't think she can fit another bit in her bucket. So let's get her moving. And then I think we need Uncle Paulie to come in, but like I said, I'm not sure about his battery situation. It might be not capable. It might not be capable of doing much, but I can easily change it too. But there's a lot of dirt there, and like I said, I like to move it in the morning where it's kind of wet still. You get a little bit of dew still here, so the mornings are a little bit wet. The leaves are looking pretty good. We do a leaf check. I could do a leaf check with you guys too, because we do have some really nice foliage. Okay, let's see if that'll have to be, won't it? I think. Okay, it's gonna work. Wow. I am so impressed with Daisy and her skills. You just don't realize how impressed I am with her lately. You did the right move. Nice. Okay. Let's see if we have anything on Uncle Paulie. I don't think we do. But let's see. We'll fire him up. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good. Oh, that's right. He was all gunked up. One of his controllers on this remote is problematic. We're gonna have to start on the side here. Oh. That's a big clump of like sod, and the controller, his sticks are a little sticky. The right one is just not doing it up. But he'll make his way. He slowly pushes back and forth, makes his way. Push it down a little bit, pull up his blade. He is trying to get this dirt down to the lower level so that Daisy can dump her stuff even lower. We got this crazy ball of something here, and I think there's a big rock in there. I think we have a lot that we got to get kind of out of the way first before we can move it in. Thanks for being here, everybody. We appreciate you. This is our first live ever. Jablanski Excavation live. I am the social media director of the program. I am not fruit. Oh gosh. What's going on there, Uncle Paulie? He's like, the stick. I need to get a part replaced. My right stick is not playing correctly. It's going backwards, but it's not going forward. It's not engaging. You got to hear Uncle Paulie. I have a headset on so I can communicate with them. I don't really talk, I just listen. I listen and relay to you what they kind of say. I can't give you everything because, we try to keep it family friendly. And Uncle Paulie, he's not young. He's been around, so his mouth precedes him, I guess. There we go. I think if we start the right one first, we'll get it going. So come on, baby. Come on, get it going. Yeah, I think there's something. you know, you can, it's hard to get a good, this is not an expensive dozer, right? This is relatively inexpensive. It's, you know, I bought a new one for $38. Now, I can get a new remote from Huina. Guess what that costs? $30. So, for the $8, I get a whole new bulldozer with it. So that's kind of been what I do with these guys. Not the, I haven't bought a excavator other than the first one that I picked up, Eddie's. But you know, this one is just $38 on Amazon, so it's not really expensive. But it works. It's not going to push, you know, you're not going to move a huge mountain like some, you know, like a real bulldozer probably would, or even one of the hydraulic bulldozers. But, you know, talking to my friends in the RC groups and online, you know, they love to watch Fruit Jablanski too. We have discussions. Some of those bulldozers are just way too big for this garden, especially. You know, I wouldn't be able to use it here. It'd fall off the ledge in a matter of seconds because it's so big. And the only thing I wish I could do is I got to figure out a way to get this into an RC, like a real RC remote. You know what I mean? Because you could see that it just doesn't always kick in, you know, when I want it to. And that's fine, you know, what it is, but it would be nice to get a better remote for these units. But for $38, they're not putting it into the remote, right? Right, director? What do you think? You're gonna get quality for $38? Yeah, well, you would want it to last a little bit. Like right there's the right one. It goes back, but for some reason, it just gets stuck going forward. Now, yes, I could probably get rid of some of that baked on clay. Come on now, Uncle Paulie. He's riding through. Sometimes he'll be able to pull himself out there. What do you guys think? Do you think it's working? It is. I mean, it's not pushing heavy mounds, but if you chip at it on the side, like I'm doing, it will push the dirt and get it where you need it to be. You know, can I do a full blade's worth? No, it won't let me. You know, especially when you have a bad controller. Now the machine isn't responding like you would like, and you know, it's dragging left, it's dragging right, it's not dragging at all. Whatever it may be, now you got more issues. Patience, Obi-Wan. Patience. I have to think about some of Fruit's advice over time, right? If you're watching the channel at all, he has some pretty good advice. And I just have to remember that sometimes, you know, when I'm doing my own job here and doing my own thing. Because sometimes, you know, life gets out of hand and we start to react, right? We don't respond, we react. And that's kind of a negative thing, right? Oh, see, I'm reacting now. I should respond and say, hey, why is that doing that? And you know, it means I gotta grab another controller somewhere. Maybe Uncle Paulie, I have to bring Doug back, right? But I need to respond, not react. Low power mode. I'm getting low, folks. We may be wrapping this up sooner than, well, we got the dinner time hour coming up soon. Normally we end in the mornings, it's our coffee break, and our evening hours might be dinner time. Who knows? We'll see what goes on. But this is sort of what we do in our lives. We sit here and we construct and we get problem solved and then we talk about kind of everyday things, things that we all go through, things that we all struggle with, whether it's a stuck lever or dealing with, a repetitive act all the time, the same thing over and over. That was kind of what Fruit was getting across last week, was, how we deal with that repetitiveness of life. You know, you don't want to eat. You don't want to eat anymore, right? Whoever heard of that? I'm not hungry. I'm so tired of eating the same thing over and over. I'm tired of the controller being stuck over and over. I think we'll be able to grade this. I think this is a good start up here. You could see how, let me get this up. This bulldozer only has a lift. That's all it has. It doesn't have anything else. You can't left or right it. You can't, it does have a ripper in the back, you can see, but I don't use it ever, to be honest with you. Okay, let's see what we can get with this. We want this to be pushed more to the right here. We don't want to go left with our push, because the pile is going down this way. So when Daisy comes down, she's going to swing around, and then she's going to go down here. This used to be there is parts of the upper parsley expansion path. If you've been following any of our videos, we have a lot of that going on, the upper parsley expansion. Widowmaker Ave, which was just named, and now we've closed it. So the mayor of that, good thing we didn't invite the mayor. We were going to the grand opening. But now that's going to be Widowmaker Garden, because this whole path here, Natalie Way, has totally changed the landscape of the garden. So we'll see. We'll see. Uncle Paulie's just going to push this dirt down, and then we have probably enough to get us down to the FDR garden. I'm kind of estimating. I don't want to go too far down, because Uncle Paulie, his blade does not lift up far enough. And if we don't have just the right amount of grade to it, he'll get stuck, and then that'll be that. It'll be DNS recovery to the rescue. That's our recovery service that helps us out when the machines get caught or fall over or roll down the hill, as you've seen in many videos. Gosh, it was like a circus act over the summer with these guys. Ooh, I don't know how he did it. Okay, come on there. Right controller, right stick, there we go. See, it's just not working. Barely working now. That's not even working. Not even. See it? Getting close to the edge there. We might roll it here live on YouTube. That wouldn't be a first. We have rolled these machines live. Yeah, that's too bad. I'm really bummed out about this. I'm gonna have to go see what I can do on that. I'm kind of stuck here. I don't want to go backwards. There we go. We got out of that situation. Whew. I gotta keep my thumb on it. I can't not keep it on. It's either that or the bulldozer won't go. See, won't go forward. I put a little bit too much pressure, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. There it goes. Getting there, but it would be nice to have better control over the situation, over the tracks and where they're going, because even when you do get it engaged, it doesn't always stay engaged, especially when you run into like a rock or something like what we did now. I think there's a rock that we're hooked on right in the middle there. You probably can't see it. It's getting darker. There we go. He's getting it. But boy, I mean, he's doing okay. He's doing okay, folks. Right? He's getting it done, even with his bad flipper. Yeah, there's the little rock he pulled up. And now it's back dragging. Let's see if we can get it down the middle here. I just want to get that hump. There we go. Come on, stay in there, Uncle Paulie. Stay in there. See if we can pull him out of this. Yeah. Oh. Okay, see what I'm talking about? Getting too deep. And then his blade does not raise tall enough. So what I normally do in this particular case is I bring the blade up as high as I can and I push forward. But now with the bum flipper, there we go. And now I can turn maybe here and come back up possibly. I'm not sure. Let's see. We may have cut in. This is where even though the blade is I'm so mad that, here we go. Even though the blade is fully up, we're still biting in, so it makes it a little treacherous for us to get up and out of this situation. Oh, is that it? Are we out of? Oh, we could be out of fuel here, folks. I think Uncle Paulie's gonna force us to go into dinner time. But you know what? It was a great experience today. Thank you, Alea, Valdez, Zoe. Hi. Thank you very much. Saeed, thank you for all the little gifts you've given me through today. My travel diary, you can go check her out or him or whoever that may be on their travel journey. But, you know, thanks for joining us today for Jablanski Excavation, our first live. Isn't that amazing? We're definitely going to do it again, so we'll see you next time. Thank you.